Jesus' disciples, good Jewish boys who have prayed 3 times a day since they were 12 probably, come up to Jesus one day and they ask him, teach us how to pray. We don't know how to do it. We see something different in your prayer life than in our prayer lives and than in anybody else's prayer life around us. So we want you to teach us how to pray like you pray, right? This is what he says. Matthew 6, verse 6. He says, but when you pray, you go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who's in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. I love that little word, and. He says, but when you pray, go into your room and shut the door. And shut the door. Why should we shut the door, Jesus? Why should we go into our room in the first place? I can pray wherever I want to, right? For years we've said it doesn't matter where you pray. You can pray on an airplane. You can pray in the car. You can pray while you're playing basketball. You can pray whenever. Why does Jesus say when you pray, you need to go into the room and shut your door? I think there's something we've missed here for a long time about prayer. Something that the disciples saw in Jesus' prayer life that they wanted too. You see, they were probably a lot like us, praying while we're on the move, praying while we're doing stuff, praying while we're thinking other things. But in Jesus, they saw something completely different, and they respected his prayer life. They saw a deeper relationship with God in his prayer life than they did in their own. So there's some words of wisdom here in Matthew 6 about prayer that I don't think we've seen before. But when you go into your room, you shut the door, and that's where you pray. Why should we shut the door? Because there's so much stuff going on around us 24/7. You know, the TV's blaring, we're driving down the road, there's people talking to us, we're listening to music, we're reading, we've got stuff going on all the time. We're always doing something, you know. Jesus says, when you pray, all that other stuff, all those other distractions need to go away. Because you've got one-on-one time with the Father. When he quiets heaven to listen to your prayer, Jesus says you should give him your full attention. Don't have other stuff going on in the background. Get rid of all the distractions that so pull out our minds all the time. Get rid of all that stuff and use that time to focus on God.